Talking about a revolution sounds. Don't you know? Talking about a revolution, it sounds like a whisper. While they're standing in the welfare lines, crying the doorsteps of those armies of salvation, wasting time in the uniformed lines, sitting around waiting for a promotion. Don't you know? Talking about a revolution sounds. Who are people gonna rise up and get their share? Who are people gonna rise up? Take what's there. Don't you know you better run, 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 run. Oh, I said you better run, 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 run. Cause finally the table are starting to turn. Cause finally the table are starting to turn. Cause finally the table are starting to turn. Cause finally the table are starting to turn.
Ladies and gentlemen, today is Monday, the 29th day of September. The year is 2014, and if you can hear the sound of my voice, then you are the revolution. I am Smokin Joe Mekhael, and this is the revolutionary nightly news, smashing through the lies of the Illuminati New World Order government, who are attacking us on a daily basis and who are increasing their attacks exponentially on a daily basis. There is a lot to get through. The government is staging massive propaganda to elevate the fear level, to justify their continued wars of aggression, Australian troops going into Iraq. Let's go into this. This article from news.com.au from Thursday, the 25th, last week. Uniformed Australian Defence Force member allegedly attacked by men of Middle Eastern appearance in Western Sydney. Everyone was going crazy over this. A member of the Australian Defence Forces has been assaulted and threatened by two men of Middle Eastern appearance in Bella Vista in northwestern Sydney. The attack follows the knife attack on two police officers in Victoria that ended with an 18-year-old Islamic extremist being shot dead in Victoria. Members of the Defence Forces have been told to be careful where they wear their uniforms in public. The next day, Friday, this article comes out from the Sydney Morning Herald. Australian Defence Force member withdraws attack complaint. A member of the Australian Defence Force who told police he was attacked by two men of Middle Eastern appearance outside his northwestern Sydney home has now withdrawn his complaint. Mission accomplished for the government, for the media, for the military. They got people scared. They got people going back to their tribal instincts and wanting the government to come and save them from the evil boogeymen who are coming to kill them. This is a massive psychological operation to destroy people's sense of reality, to have them go back into a reptilian, animalistic, fear-driven mode of existence where they are concerned for their lives 24 hours a day and they want security from the government. Don't fall victim to this plot. You are smarter than that, and we are witnessing today the struggle between the people around the world who want freedom and the people around the world in government who want to have a global tyranny, a tyranny that surpasses 1984, that surpasses Brave New World, that surpasses any science fiction movie that you've ever seen, which are coincidentally predictive programming, telling you exactly what's going to happen, what their agenda is. It doesn't matter that this complaint was withdrawn. It already escalated the fear level, and the head of the army saying uniformed officers or people in the defence forces should be careful where they wear their uniform, escalating the fear. And I don't condone violence in any way. I don't want any violence happening. But people who serve in the military, people who work on a ship, people who drive a truck, people who do logistics, if you're part of the defense forces supporting the machine, the apparatus that is killing innocent people across the world, surely in the back of your mind you thought at some point these people might start fighting back at home. I don't condone any violence, but I'm telling you, violence from a military force like the Australian Army and violence from a terrorist force like ISIS or anyone else walking down the street, it's still violence against someone, and that's something that I don't want. I'm here preaching peace. Moving on. This is a brilliant article from firstlook.org/The Intercept. Australia's Prime Minister gives a masterclass in exploiting terrorism fears to seize new powers. If you're an Australian citizen, you have a greater chance of being killed by the following causes than you do by a terrorist attack: slipping in the bathtub and hitting your head, contracting a lethal intestinal illness from the next dinner you eat at a restaurant, being struck by lightning. In the post-9/11 era, there has been no terrorist attack carried out on Australian soil. Not one. The attack that most affected Australians was the 2002 bombing of a nightclub in Bali, which killed 88 of its citizens. That was 12 years ago. Despite all that, Australia's political class is in the midst of an increasingly unhinged, fear-mongering orgy over terrorism. The campaign has two prongs: ISIS, needless to say, it's now an all-purpose global source of fear manufacturing, and the weekend arrest of 15 people on charges that they plan to behead an unknown random individual based on exhortations from an Australian member of ISIS. The Australian government wasted no time at all exploiting the event to demand broad new security powers to combat what it says is a rising threat from militant Islamists. Even by the warped standards of the West 9/11 era liberty abridgments, these powers are extreme, including making it a crime for an Australian citizen to travel to any area overseas once the government has declared it off limits. Already pending in that country is a proposal by the Attorney General to make it a criminal offence punishable by 5 years in jail for any person who disclosed information relating to special intelligence operations. The bill is clearly intended to outright criminalise WikiLeaks and Snowden-type reporting, and the government thus expressly refuses to exempt journalists. This morning, Australia's Liberal Party Prime Minister Tony Abbott delivered a speech to the nation's parliament that is a perfect distillation of the key post-9/11 pathologies of Western democracies. It was a masterclass in how politicians shamelessly exploit terrorism fears to seize greater power. Abbott assumed the grave demeanour and resolute tone that politicians in these situations don to convince others that they're the modern-day incarnation of Winston Churchill, purposeful, unyielding, and courageously ready for the fight. He depicted his fight as one of pure good versus evil, and vehemently denied that his nation's 10-year support for the invasion and occupation of Iraq plays any role whatsoever in animosity towards his country in that region. Perish the thought. It's our acceptance that people can live and worship in the way they choose that bothers them, not our foreign policy. No, it's not the fact that you're bombing and killing their countrymen, their family, their wives, their mothers, their sisters, their children. That doesn't matter. They want to attack our freedoms. You know what, Abbott? You're the real enemy. You want to attack our freedoms. And I don't give a damn what type of laws you pass criminalizing speech, because I will go to my grave spreading the truth and fighting for freedom, because that is the right thing to do. And I will be judged for what I'm doing. You will be judged for what you're doing. And I am telling you right now that you are the evil one, and you know it. And you will not defeat the forces of good, the forces of peace, the forces of truth, and the forces of freedom. To all of the security agents, to all of the members of the government, the security forces, ASIO, who are watching this broadcast, understand that I am here talking about peace. I want peace. And the government that you work for wants war and death. You and your children are not going to be exempt from the New World Order and their devilish plan to continue poisoning the water, poisoning the food, poisoning the air, continuing global warfare. Don't be a stooge. I want you to look into your humanity and do what needs to be done to stand up and call the shots and blow the whistle on exactly what's going on. Stand up for freedom, stand up for your children, and stand up for humanity right now. Most impressively, he just came right out and candidly acknowledged that his real purpose, to exploit the emotions surrounding the terrorist arrests to erode liberty and increase state power, telling citizens that they will die if they do not meekly acquiesce. Here are some quotes from this demon, this terrorist, Tony Abbott. Regrettably, for some time to come, Australians will have to endure more security than we're used to, and more inconvenience than we'd like. Regrettably, for some time to come, the delicate balance between freedom and security may have to shift. There may be more restrictions on some so that there can be more protections for others. After all, the most basic freedom of all is the freedom to walk the streets unharmed and to sleep safe in our beds at night. With those scary premises in place, the Prime Minister proceeded to rattle off a laundry list of new legal powers and restraints on freedom that he craves. To the agents of the state, here I am. I'm doing the honourable thing. I am going on the record in the public arena, saying exactly what I feel and saying exactly what's going on. You need to make a decision. Everyone watching this broadcast needs to make a decision whether you're going to passively sit by and let this go on or whether you're going to stand up. And I was having dinner with a few friends of mine on the weekend, and they said, I remember after 9/11 you said they were going to continue these wars, expand them all over the Middle East, and then they would bring it home here to Australia. And they said, I didn't believe you at the time. And that was, 13 years ago. And they said, I can see everything you have said is coming true. What can we do about it? And I told them, you need to withdraw from the system. You need to stop supporting the government. You need to spread information. Call them out on their lies. Tell your friends about it. Throw your television out of the window. Keep yourself healthy. Train your body. Eat organic food. Take your money out of the bank. Put your money in gold and silver. Most importantly of all, you have to make a conscious decision to join the revolution, to join the forces of freedom, because the government is going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing until there is a massive event and they can consolidate their control even further. They are pushing for a false flag attack here in Australia, and I don't want to see that happen. An article from The Age. Terror laws clear Senate, enabling entire Australian web to be monitored and whistleblowers to be jailed. I will continue to blow the whistle until my last breath, because that is the right thing to do. From abc.net.au, press freedom sidelined in pursuit of security. One of the most profound consequences of the new round of national security laws will be a major loss of press freedom, and that's passing through almost without protest, even from the media itself, writes Michael Bradley. And this is all about a war that is fake, a clash of civilizations that is fake, a state of fear that is fabricated and fake and fraudulent, a facade. From globalresearch.ca, Syria calls upon US and allies to stop supporting the Islamic State under a fake counter-terrorism mandate. Deputy Prime Minister of Syria, Foreign and Expatriates Minister Walid al-Muallim stressed that the seriousness of the US and its allies in combating terrorism entails to immediately halt supporting, financing and training the terrorist organizations and to stop facilitating their flow into the Syrian territories through coordination with the Syrian state. The United States runs Al-Qaeda. They run ISIS. They want you to hate each other. And they're doing a pretty damn good job of it. But people like you are the resistance. People like you are the renegades. People like you are the revolution that is going to win freedom back for the human race. I know it. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I've decided to spend my life doing this. I'd much rather just DJ for a living. That is a really, really fun lifestyle. I enjoy that. But I know that I have a moral responsibility, knowing this information, to spread this information, and to spread this message, and to spread the revolution, and to fight for freedom. Join the fight with me. We are going to win this thing. ISIS copycat strikes Oklahoma, where there was a beheading in Oklahoma a few days ago. And of course, the more that this goes on, more people are going to buy into this from both sides, and they're going to commit acts of unspeakable violence. And this is all the government's doing because they are feeding the fire. They are fueling the fire. A crazy article here from Infowars.com again. Pentagon think tank hires Call of Duty creator to advise on future threats to the US. Idea came when former Pentagon official saw son playing Call of Duty Black Ops. And of course, they're the kings, the pharaohs of fabrication, the masters of manipulation, the princes of propaganda. Of course, they've got someone who makes these video games to fabricate with them on future possible hypothetical terrorist scenarios. This is disgusting. Another one from Infowars.com. The decline and fall of Europe. French farmers set tax office on fire. Government facility a symbol of the increasing administrative burden and sanctions that is killing farming. And people are sick of being interfered with, coerced, pushed by the government. I don't support taxation at all. Taxation is theft. But I'll tell you what, I don't support the burning of the tax office or any other government office or any attack on any government official or any attack on anyone. Understand and look into my eyes and believe me when I say, on the graves of my ancestors, I want peace. I don't want violence. That's why it is my goal and my destiny to take down the biggest purveyor of violence in the history of planet Earth, and that is the government. And more people every day are understanding what I'm talking about, and more people are joining me. Don't fall for people who say that I am a terrorist, who say that I am someone who wants to have violence. I don't want any violence at all. Peace is the answer. Join me in this fight for freedom. But don't fall for violence. Peace is the way forward. And this is an article from back in 2009 from WorldNet Daily, WND.com. The US military teaches that protesters are low-level terrorists. And that's what they're going to say. Protesters, activists, people who spread the truth, they're going to call us the terrorists. But I can stand here with my head held high, knowing that I'm advocating peace, preaching peace, pushing peace, and they're the ones pushing death and destruction. My conscience is clear. And moving on again from Infowars.com, BOEHNER from the United States, boots will have to be on the ground in ISIS. And of course they're going to keep escalating, boots on the ground here, boots on the ground there. Continual warfare, more money for the military-industrial complex while they continue to take our freedoms away. And now there are protests in Hong Kong. Police unleashed tear gas in Hong Kong protests. Thousands of residents wielding umbrellas defied police orders. Hong Kong students stormed government headquarters in challenge to Beijing. They opposed Beijing's decision to rule out free elections for the city's leader in 2017. People all over the world want more autonomy, want more sovereignty, want more independence. This movement is global. This movement is spiritual. Won't you join the movement for peace? I know that you have peace within your heart and you want peace for yourself. You want peace for your children. You don't want to live in a constant state of fear about terrorism, fear about war, fear about not being able to pay the rent. We should be living in abundance, and we have the ability to live in abundance if we can cast off the people who are oppressing us. That is the government, the New World Order, the Illuminati. Tell you what, join the fight for freedom if you work for one of those agencies, because you will not be spared by them. Join the side that wants you to be healthy, that wants your family to be healthy, not the side that wants you and your family dead. And I'll go into this more tomorrow, but Africans claim that US created the Ebola crisis. Doctors point to secret biological warfare programs. Did you know that the CDC, the Center for Disease Control in the United States, owns the patent on Ebola? Ebola is nothing but a manufactured, genetically engineered biological weapon to wreak havoc and kill a lot of people. Research that for yourself. A few more local stories. The New South Wales Police will tomorrow display their latest community engagement vehicle, with markings designed by an international student studying in Sydney. And you can see your tax dollars went to buy this 2014 Porsche 911 Carrera. You pay taxes, you work hard, this is what your money's going to. So the police can cruise around and try and convince everyone in the community how cool they are and how they're the heroes and how they should be looked up to, when they are nothing but agents for the most murderous force in history, that is the state. See through the lies. An article from inthemix.com.au. Surprise, sniffer dogs at DEFCON 1, a music festival in Sydney, weren't effective. Earlier this month, harm minimisation advocates Unharm petitioned New South Wales Police to trial a year without drug sniffer dogs at Hard Dance Festival DEFCON 1 after a man died last year from a panic overdose. Panic-based fatal overdoses are the most tragic outcome of this policing activity, said Unharm spokesman Will Dragoning. Drug dog operations don't contribute to harm reductions. And moving on, the day-long operation involved 200 police officers and 3 sniffer dogs who searched 372 people over the course of the day. Only 83 were found to have drugs on them, a false positive rate of around 75%, meaning the drug dogs were wrong in 3/4 of all searches. Unharm says this is proof of the ineffectiveness of sniffer dog operations, and that there's also no doubt that thousands made it past the dogs with drugs in their possession. Moving on, 22% of people were found in possession, writes another commenter. The 78% take it into the rooms, stripped, and in a completely humiliating way and made to squat naked and cough, get separated from their friends amongst the 20,000 people for no reason. Good work, fellas. And I posted this article to social media with my caption, "Police sexually assault hundreds of innocent people at DEFCON 1. And you need to look at exactly what's going on in the situation. When the government takes your money from taxation, that is theft. When the police harass you with dogs on the street when you're going to a festival and make you get naked, that is sexual assault. Just because the government does it excuses it from being a crime. They want to tax, regulate every single part of your life. They want you to be in fear of this enemy, so you will support endless wars and more erosions of your liberty. But they continue to destroy humanity, to suck the life force from all of us collectively. But I know that we will not allow this to come to fruition. I know that we are going to stand up together and have the courage to spread this message and to fight for freedom. And I believe and declare we will crush the New World Order. Research everything that I've told you here today. Don't take my word for it. I'm just here to spread the love, to spread the peace, to spread the truth, to spread the freedom. The revolution is here. Woo! Yeah!